Hello everyone, welcome to my corner of the world, and today I'm going to be working on a sort of a non-traditional Christmassy type Christmas card, and I'm going to use this lovely stamp set with a big old swirl there. And I've got this stamp set that's got a whole range of lovely greetings in a lovely font, so those are what I'm going to be working with. And I've also got a white pearl embossing powder, which I'd not come across before. So it's one that I picked up here in the UK. And so I thought I would use that. And I'm going to be working on navy and white along with the pearl. So I've got my stamps loaded up. And I'm going to put the pearl on the Night of Navy, and we'll just use the this swirly stamp. Now, it's quite a big one. Normally, I would put such a big stamp on my stamping platform, but I thought, well, let's just go ahead and use it on a block, because at the moment I'm not quite sure how I'm going to actually orientate this image. I'm just making sure I've got lots of nice sticky Versamark, which is a clear ultra sticky ink, and I'm just going to gently put my little stamping buddy over there just to sort of remove any oily finger marks or anything that might be on the card that will stop the or will attract the embossing powder where I don't want it to be. Right, so I want to have room for a greeting, so let's see. I think if I kind of put it like that, let's just lower that down and give it a good firm press. Now I'm using a foam mat underneath, because it'll give me something to sort of push against with these clear stamps, because they don't have any sort of padding on them. Right, I think probably I've got a good job there. I'm going to turn it around here so it's flat. Right. Looks like I've got a good image there. And so we're just going to pour some embossing powder down here and just let it trickle that way, and then I'm going to let it trickle that way so that it goes in all the sorts of little nooks and crannies. Now then, I've got a couple of little marks here, and I think they're not where they're supposed to be. So we're going to give that a flick, see if we can shift some of the things that shouldn't be there. We just put a tiny bit more, and hopefully it's kind of gone where despite my very careful use of my embossing buddy, we've got some extra bits that we don't want. I'm trying desperately here not to get my head in the camera. It's just here, look. Oh, didgeridoo. too much there as well. Try and get that off. So this is the first time I've used this stamp, so maybe it needs a little bit of a clean, but we'll carry on. That doesn't look as though it's got enough on it there, because I will need a nice coverage. There, we got that. And then my next bit is I've got my greeting loaded up on a block, and I'm going to pop it down here. Hopefully I can get this straight without getting my head in the way. And I just go in with some more powder. There. Let's see how we do with that. So we just cover a few bits up here before I knock anything over. And then we got our right, so we can start to see this change, and it is a pearl. It's not silver or anything, it's actually a pearlized one. And so it's not sort of showing a really bright white, it's kind of giving a pale sort of bluish tinge. So it's picking something up from the card. So as you can probably tell from what I'm saying, this is the first time I've used this embossing powder. It is a new one to me. And I think it's going to be kind of really subtle. There we go. Now the other thing with embossing is sometimes if you're not careful, if you leave the heat on it too long, the powder will actually sort of sink into the card and you don't get the raised effect. Now you need to leave that just a few minutes to sort of dry and set, otherwise it will scuff and you'll be really disappointed. So whilst that dries a moment, I'm just going to get my card base. So my card base is just half a sheet of A4, and if you are in the States you can just use half a sheet of letter size. That's 8.25, 11 by 8.25, 8.5, Cindy. Gosh, I'm beginning to forget. And it will work just as well for you. And you just cut your layers just slightly down. And I'm just going to put a little of my curly Q here. And I'm going to need to get an envelope. So here's my envelope, making sure it's the right way up, of course, like that. And just add a little ink to part of it. I don't want it all on there, but I do want some of that ink, that bit there. So we'll just have that kind of coming up from the corner. Like that. Get my ink out the way. Right, so we can just pop this all together. So I was going to do this like blue on blue, but it kind of did lose something. So I've cut a second piece of white card. I guess I could have used silver, but I wanted to try and, I thought that silver would like clash with the pearl. So let's see what we've got here. Come on, out you come. That's better. You just lie that there. Now, I thought about putting some ribbon, but you know, I started to think that the more I pile on it, the more it kind of takes away from that really pretty effect of the pearl. But I will pop these on, put some double-sided sticky pads on there. Go over there, please. And I have got some pretty little embellishments, which are themselves pearly, and I thought, yep, we'll just take that on board. And it would help if I actually put my fold in like that and pop that on the front. You know, I think that looks super elegant. And then we can put our little piece on that inside. And a couple of embellishment on the front, and we've got ourselves a really nice, sophisticated card. So here they are. You see what I mean about them sort of being pearly? And I thought that maybe I could put them on some of these little sort of bally dots that are on here. So there's some small and some big ones. So maybe I'll put a big one here and a small one here, and sort of just leave some of them. Have I got any more of those little bally dots? No, I think I'm good. So I think we are good to go for this one. Well, here we go. If you have enjoyed this card, then perhaps you'll go ahead and give me a thumbs up. I certainly appreciate it if you subscribe and share my videos. And I also appreciate it that you've chosen to spend a little bit of time with me today. Well, that's about it for now. I will look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye for now.